Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and as you'll see from the thumbnail, did we kill Big Jean? Now, I truly thought we had, and there she is, bless her. And what happened, she'd gone for an MOT, she'd passed her MOT absolutely fine, emissions, everything was great. And we're like, oh, brilliant, like, you know, we can get on and have some more lovely trips with her. And we popped into town because basically we don't use her that much other than to going away, so she sits for long periods of time, so we'll give her a run. So we took her for a drive to our local town, which is like 10 miles away, drove back, give her battery a charge, clean all the brakes up like you do. And I noticed as we were about 2 miles from home, I could see blue smoke coming from the driver's side of the van. As we were driving, I was like, uh-oh, this is never smoked, you know, you never see smoke, you never see rattles, noises, anything, and there's now blue smoke pouring out the side of the van. I was like, oh no, what's going on? And it got worse and worse and worse, and this smoke was pouring out. I was like, we've blown the turbo's gone. And because that's kind of one of the first signs of a turbo going. And I thought, oh, that's just typical, and it just passes MOT. We started using her again, and I've just blown the turbo. But it was driving lovely, she was driving fine, she's still pulling. And normally when the turbo goes, you just lose all power, it just goes flat and it just billows out smoke. So anyway, I pulled over. Obviously I didn't want to kill it any more than I did, and popped open the bonnet, and there's this real kind of high-pitched metal vibration, like a tinny kind of tick 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 going along. I was like, yeah, that's it, the turbo's flapping around inside the housing, damn it. So limped it home, pulled it onto the drive where she sat now. I'm like, damn it. So turned it off. I thought, right, well, I haven't got time to look into it now, so we'll get back involved, and we'll have a look, see what's going on. And yeah, so I kind of left her sat there, to be fair, for about a week. I left her sat there, and we just got on with our normal daily lives. And I was like, oh, I've got to get in there. So literally this weekend now, so it's a week after the event, and I thought, right, let's just get under there and have a look. So I started stripping it down. I took all the intake off, took the air filter out, and took the intake off the back of the turbo, put my fingers in, and I'm like, turbo's fine. There's a tiny bit of play, but they have a minute bit of play anyway, nothing loose. I was like, that's a bit weird. So I got Liz, I said, look, can you just fire it up a minute, let's have a listen. So she got in and it wouldn't fire. It's like kept, and so I reconnected the pipe, it's just on there, connected the MAF sensor back up so it could read and fire up, and the battery was a bit flat, to be fair, as well. So I put a jump battery on it and it fired. I thought, ah, there's that noise, but no smoke, but there's that noise. I was like, that doesn't sound like it's coming from the turbo area of the engine, which is the left hand side of the engine on these. It sounds like it's coming from the front. So I looked down, I'm like, the belt's vibrating a bit. So I told Liz to turn it off, and yeah, so I'm like, the belt's loose, it's a bit weird. So when I got some tools, laid underneath, took the belly pan off, and when I took the belly pan off, I found this in the belly pan. So this should all be together. As you can see, it's melted, and if you look, there's a bearing sat right there. And what had happened, the smoke that I thought was oil coming from the turbo was the belt, which is here. You can see a groove in it, and it's wrecked anyway, but it's burnt out. Obviously the bearing had seized, and the smoke I saw, which I assume was oil, was actually the belt spinning on that seized solid, and eventually got so hot it melted, tore it off. There's the bearing, that's the inner bearing, well, that's the outer bearing, sorry. There's the inner where the bearings would be sat, seized solid. And basically as soon as it failed completely, well, that was it, the bearing failed completely and then gave up the ghost. So that's why the smoke went, and the rattling was the belt spinning on what was left of the bearing. So that was it. I'm going to put a new bearing and tensioner on it, and new belt, new bearings too, and tensioner, job done. So we thought we'd cost ourselves a lot of money, and in the end all it was a bearing and a belt and a tension. It's something you're never going to know, it just happens, it is what it is. So yeah, good girl, she still got us home again. I tell you what, you know, whatever people say about any vehicles, we've been very lucky and it's happened here. So, you know, hope that's of interest and you enjoyed what we've had to say about her. And like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.